In this Wix tutorial, let's talk about the best way to change your site's template. Now, you're not able to simply apply a different theme to a site that is existing. And this is documentation from Wix itself. I can put the link to this page in the description down below. However, you are able to transfer over different features to or from one Wix site to another. These are the different ones you can transfer over, whether it's the plan itself, the domain, some email stuff. More importantly for you, probably the elements and the pages and the media and even the Wix blog. Some of the features you can't transfer, it says site theme, design, and layout. That kind of just means like you can't just transfer a theme over, but you can transfer elements to a site that has a new theme. And then some of the other things here, like the Wix store back end, some Wix video things, some third-party apps, things like that. So if you're just getting started here, it's pretty easy to kind of just switch some things. Like I'm going to show you elements and pages and how you can transfer those from one theme to another. So over here, I've got this Wix site, and I'm going to navigate to the home for you guys so that we can just see the site as is. Basically, it's like a portfolio site. It has this home page, we have the about page, and then we also have like a contact page, even the work pages. So what I would do here is first go find a new site theme that you want to choose. So we're going to go over to My Sites, and you're going to actually create a new site. So you click that blue button up here. We're going to create a new site. It's going to run you through that process. So maybe I'm working on a portfolio and I want a new theme for my existing portfolio. So I would click on portfolio. Maybe it's a digital media portfolio, and I kind of go through here to start to find the themes. I'm just going to call this portfolio. We're not going to get too deep on the name of the website, but essentially you can check what you want in your site. Right now I'm just going to look at regular portfolio themes, and we're going to begin with a template. And once I find the templates here, maybe I find a template that I like better. Like for instance, maybe I like this one right here. So I'm going to choose this template, which is different from the one that I had prior, and I'm just going to click edit on that one. Now it's going to load the editor for this new site that I've created. So I have this new site called Portfolio, and it has its own theme. And so what you're able to do is take elements from your existing site and paste them into your new site. So it's going to take me through everything, and I'm just going to zoom in. There we go. So I've got this new site, and it's got its own theme. That means it's got its fonts, its colors, everything like that. What I can do is go back to my old site. I'm going to mess with these tabs a little bit. So I've got the old site right here, and I've got the new site right here. I've got both the editors open. So what I can do is go back to this old site, and I could literally copy a page from this old site into the new site. So maybe I like the About section, and I believe this will bring in the header and stuff too, but I'll show you that you can apply the new theme to this page. So if I open up my pages and menu, I can grab the About section, click the three dots, or I can right click it as well, and I can hit copy. And once I have that copied, I can go back to or go over to the new site that we've created, and I can come into the pages and menu section and kind of look around, or I can just, or no, yeah, I do need to come in here because I need to right click inside of here and paste. You have two different options. You can just paste it in, or you can paste and apply the site theme. Kind of depends on what you're doing. If you're pulling, like for instance, if I'm pulling this home page from this new theme and putting it into my old site, maybe I want to just paste it and then start to work with the font and stuff. In this case, what we're trying to do is take my old site and apply the new theme to it. So we're going to paste and apply the site theme, which should change some of the typography. So let's go ahead and paste that in here and see how it does. So we have copy of About. That's fine. You can change the names and change all the back-end stuff on this page and all the settings. But if we take a look at this, we now have, and it didn't bring in the header necessarily, which is good. So we now have the copy of About. We could change that to just say About, but that is the page in this new theme. It's pulled it in here, and it's actually done the typography. It's brought in the media, and then it still has the footer of the new theme in here as well. So what we've been able to do is bring in that about page and apply the new theme. And then you can go back to that site, and maybe I want to, bring in this contact page and apply the new theme. So I could do the same thing. I could go copy that, come back over here to this portfolio, and go to the pages and menu and right click and paste and apply site theme, and see how contact comes in as well. Now this is one of those things where one of the elements couldn't be pasted to this site. So that's where, if we go back to switching your site template, we might see that there's probably something in here, maybe with the marketing integrations or contacts. Somewhere around here, there's probably like the form or something that couldn't be placed in here. So you're going to run into some of that where you have to rebuild a little bit. I've got this little contact form here. So even if we were to right click and copy this section and come over here and then try to paste and apply the theme, still isn't going to paste that element here. We'll have to just simply add a new form. And it actually did paste the section. So if I undo that, I still have the section, which means I can just quickly go to elements, go down to, we should have forms, contact and forms, and just bring in like a new contact form in here. And I can, edit this however I'd like, and it brings in the font and everything from, or I can apply the fonts and everything from this theme. So that's how you could start to quickly rebuild some of these things. Let's see how the media section, this was the whole point of this, was the portfolio, bringing it over. So let's take a look at bringing over maybe the work page and kind of see how that works. Okay, I've changed that on this site, so there's not much there. So let's bring over maybe the home page, which includes a bunch, like this whole portfolio of work and all this imagery and stuff. So what we'll do is go back to pages and menu here, click on home and copy it, and then come back over here and we'll paste this in and see how it comes in. We'll right click, paste and apply site theme. Said some of the elements couldn't transfer over. Hit done. So in this case, the element that couldn't transfer over was probably that gallery. You can bring media over. It just could be that some of these things are not able to be brought over because they're the default stuff here. And so this is the Wix Pro Gallery, switching your site template. That might be under Wix Photography apps as far as like the Pro Gallery and stuff. But if you just have basic elements and pages, you can definitely switch the template for that. Same thing with managing the media. I think most of this might be uploaded somewhere on our site, and we could be able to find that to transfer it over as well. And if you go to that link, you can see that some of the features you can transfer, media is one of them. So if we click on media, it'll actually tell us how do we import media from one to the other, because each site has its own media manager. And so it displays only the files from the current site you're working on, but you can import or transfer media from another site into your account to the current media manager. So to do that, we would go to the media manager, click upload, click Wix account, select what we want to import, and then select the files. So we're going to look at, right here. We're going to go to, that was video. So importing the media files. So we're going to go to the media manager. So this will be upload media from my Wix account. So this is kind of like the default placeholder stuff. I didn't actually put any media in here, if that makes sense. I didn't actually upload this stuff. It's just kind of existing on Wix. But if you had uploaded media and used it in a gallery, what you can do is go to that new site, upload from a different site. So from your Wix account, you can choose another site to upload the media from. Once you have that media uploaded, then all you have to do is add a gallery in here, and that would effectively basically copy over what you had on the original site. So that's how you're going to have to troubleshoot some elements from one site to another. However, some of the basic things you can copy paste over, and that works well enough to transfer a theme or kind of test out the theme, just like we did with the About page over here. You can kind of test out the theme with elements and typography and whatever text you have written in, and from there it would just be a matter of changing the title and changing some of the footer stuff. You can also probably copy paste those kind of things too. So if I come in here, I can probably grab, like if I wanted this header piece, I could right click and copy that element and come over here, and I should be able to paste in or paste and apply the site theme. And there you go. I pasted and applied the theme, which is this font right here. So I could bring this text down and edit it and make it a little bit smaller, and then bring it over and replace what I have going over here. So you can bring in the header, you can probably bring in all the footer stuff as well. In the same way that you can copy pages, you can also copy elements over individually and start to rebuild. Never said this was easy. In fact, Wix itself even says that it's not possible to apply a different template, but it is possible to transfer some of these elements over, and that is how you can do it here on Wix, and how you can kind of adjust and change your template and at least not start from scratch on a brand new template. You can at least bring in some of those items. If you have any questions, hit me up down below. Hopefully Wix adds the feature to just change the template on your Wix website sometime in the future.